Hey everyone and welcome. Today we are diving deep into the mind of a true original, Nikola Tesla. Now, we all know the name, right? And we've definitely heard about that famous rivalry with Thomas Edison. But what really made Tesla a genius? It wasn't just about the incredible inventions. It was about his completely unique way of seeing the world. So let's figure out what truly set him apart.
So that brings up a big question. What actually defines a true genius? Is it just about being super smart? Or is it about creativity? Maybe it's something else entirely. Well, Tesla's story is the perfect case study to explore that very question. His whole life was basically a masterclass in a different kind of thinking.
All right, so to really get to the heart of his genius, we're going to break it down into 4 parts. First up, we'll explore his incredible mind. Then, we'll see how he used that mind to tame invisible forces like electricity. After that, we'll look at how he was basically getting a glimpse of the future, and finally, we'll wrap up with the Tesla effect and how huge his impact still is today.
Okay, let's kick things off with the source of it all, his mind. See, to really understand his world-changing inventions, you first have to get a handle on the extraordinary way his brain was wired. For him, it wasn't just a tool, it was his entire laboratory, workshop, and testing ground, all rolled into one.
This quote right here, it perfectly captures Tesla's superpower, his power of mental visualization. And we're not talking about just daydreaming here. He described being able to build, test, and run entire, complex machines completely inside his head. He could see every gear, every wire, every single moving part in perfect 3D detail, almost like it was happening right in front of him.
So his process was completely backward compared to other inventors. Take his revolutionary AC motor, for example. He didn't build prototype after prototype. Nope. He came up with the idea, ran it in his mind for weeks, spotted the flaws, and tweaked the design, all without touching a single tool. It was only when the invention was absolutely perfect in his imagination that he actually built the physical thing. And guess what? It reportedly worked perfectly on the very first try. Just wow!
And how did he pull off this incredible level of focus? Solitude. Tesla was a huge believer that real, game-changing innovation could only happen with uninterrupted thinking. He wasn't trying to be antisocial. He was just building a sanctuary for his mind, a quiet space where these amazing mental blueprints could really come to life.
So, how did this one-of-a-kind mind lead to such real, tangible results? Well, this next part is all about how Tesla took those creations from his head and used them to master the invisible forces of electricity, changing our world forever in the process.
And this, of course, brings us to the famous war of currents. Edison was all about direct current, or DC. It flows in one direction, but it loses a ton of energy over long distances. Tesla, though, he saw the future in alternating current, or AC. The genius of AC is that its current reverses direction, which means it can be easily stepped up to a high voltage to travel for miles and miles with almost no energy loss. This one difference was the absolute key to building our modern power grid.
Now, AC's secret weapon was Tesla's polyphase system. And this wasn't just about a single alternating current. Oh no, this was about using multiple currents, all perfectly out of sync with each other, working together. It was an absolutely ingenious idea, and it was the real breakthrough that made large-scale, efficient electrical grids a reality.
And if the AC grid was the new superhighway, well, this motor was the vehicle that drove on it. The AC induction motor is arguably one of Tesla's most impactful inventions ever. Its design was simple, it didn't have brushes that wear out, and it was incredibly reliable and efficient. It literally became the workhorse of the second industrial revolution, powering everything from massive factories to the appliances we use in our homes every single day.
But what really takes Tesla from being just a great inventor to a true visionary was his uncanny ability to see what was coming next. He wasn't just solving the problems of his own time, he was designing technologies for a future he saw with stunning clarity, a future that, honestly, we are only now fully living in.
Just look at this timeline. It shows just how far ahead of the curve he was. He demonstrated radio in 1893, years before Marconi was credited for it. He built a radio-controlled boat in 1898. Think about that. That's basically the world's first drone. And by 1901, he was already trying to build a massive tower for global wireless power. These weren't just inventions. They were the seeds of our entire modern connected world.
His biggest, grandest vision, though, sadly, remained unrealized. His world wireless system, which was going to be powered by his Wardenclyffe Tower,
wasn't just about sending messages. No, Tesla imagined a global network that could transmit electrical power itself, wirelessly, to any spot on the entire globe. Just try to imagine a world with no power lines, where energy is just there, as accessible as the air we breathe. That was his ultimate dream.
And what's also just incredible is how early he was thinking about sustainability. I mean, long before this was a global conversation, Tesla was already researching how to harness geothermal energy from the Earth's core and was a huge supporter of solar power. He saw the potential environmental cost of industrialization and was already trying to design a cleaner, more sustainable future for all of us.
So, this brings us to our final section, the Tesla effect. How does a visionary from more than a century ago still manage to shape the world we live in today? Well, as we're about to see, his influence isn't just undeniable, it's actually growing.
For decades, the popular story always favored Thomas Edison, right? He was the practical businessman who won in the marketplace. But, well, history is being rewritten. As we become more and more reliant on the very technologies Tesla pioneered, AC power, wireless communication, the whole perception is shifted. Now Tesla is increasingly seen as the true father of the modern electric age.
This big reevaluation has been fueled by what some people call the cult of Tesla. It's this really passionate movement of enthusiasts and scientists and historians who've worked so hard to elevate his story. They've helped transform him from a nearly forgotten genius into a global icon of pure, uncompromising innovation.
And his impact isn't just some historical footnote. It's literally in the palm of your hand right now. That wireless charging for your phone? Yep, that's based on his principles of electromagnetic induction. Wi-Fi and radio? They trace straight back to his wireless transmission experiments. Drones and remote controls? Echoes of his radio-controlled boat from 1898. The very grid that's going to power our renewable energy future? It's all built on his AC system.
In the end, Tesla's genius wasn't just in what he built, but in the future he could so clearly see. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. Just like Tesla dreamed of wireless power, what seemingly impossible project today, maybe in AI or energy or space, is laying the groundwork for the next 100 years? What is our generation's Wardenclyffe Tower?